Please join me in thanking the Hampton University Jazz Ensemble. You all really know how to set the tone. Thank you so very much for sharing your talents with us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Michelle Penn Marshall, and I am the Dean of the Graduate College, the Associate Provost, and the Vice President for Research at Hampton University. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you to the 5th Annual Graduate College Day. I will introduce the members of the dais. We have Chancellor and Provost, Dr. Joanne Haysbert, Dr. Jean Muhammad, Chairperson of the Department of Computer Science and Associate Professor. We have Mr. John Blaylock, graduate student extraordinaire. We have Ms. Brittany Suggs to my right, President of the Organization of Graduate Students. And we have Mrs. Christy Kanzler to my far right. Mrs. Kanzler is the Graduate College Counselor and the Staff Advisor to the Organization of Graduate Students. I'm trying to be like the students, so my welcome is actually in my phone. Give me just one moment. It is indeed an excellent time to be a graduate student. We are pleased that you have chosen to come to Hampton University to learn more about our programs, our rich heritage, funding opportunities, our renowned faculty, our research centers, and our tradition of upholding the standard of excellence. If Mr. Andre Johnson would join me at the podium. Did I say that right? No, close does not make it with me. Please say it correctly. Mr. Andre Jones would join me at the podium. I would like to present a monetary donation to the HU Jazz Ensemble on behalf of the Graduate College at Hampton University. This organization selfishly donates their time. They're students, and you can see they have a love and an extreme talent for music. So we want to support them in any way we can. On behalf of the Hampton University's Graduate College, we thank you again for your tireless efforts. Now, I'm going to turn my attention to the prospective students in the audience. If you are a prospective graduate student, will you please raise your hand? Okay, excellent, excellent, thank you. And we welcome adult learners also. We have master's and PhD programs here. So as a prospective Hampton University graduate student, you will have the opportunity to audition for the jazz ensemble, the choir, good plug, right? He didn't pay me for that. The choir, the Terpsichorean dance troupe, participate in cutting-edge research, serve your community, lead the organization of graduate students, because Brittany will be graduating. Yes, she says yes. Make lifelong friends and expand your educational knowledge. We live in a very fast-paced and dynamic society. And while things all around us are changing, one thing that no one can take away from you is your knowledge, your education. Take it seriously. The faculty here some of you have already talked to them, but you will have an opportunity to really engage in them. You will find that they are dedicated, hardworking, and determined to ensure that you succeed. They will push you to your very limits, but you will be the better for it, and so will the rest of the world, because you will have a skill set that is needed. So I applaud you for that. I thank you very much, and I thank you, Isra Fernando. He presented his research with Professor Goiti. Many of you already had the opportunity to learn more about his research, and that is an opportunity whether you're in physics, communicative sciences and disorders, biology, nursing, that you will have an opportunity to present your research in this platform, locally, regionally, and nationally. Can we please thank Gourmet Services for the delicious food that they prepared for us? I would like you to open your blue folders. You have an agenda that's on the right-hand side. You can see that we have planned an exciting, you've already had some excitement, fun-filled. There are going to be some trivia questions. Dr. Haysbert always drops pearls of wisdom, so listen to what people are saying to you today, because you could win one of these prizes that have been graciously donated if you can answer the questions correctly. It's our intent today. I need to tell you what our purpose is. We are showcasing our excellent programs, our excellent faculty, our excellent students, and it's our intent to seal the deal and make you a part of the Hampton family. So again, I welcome you to the 5th Annual Graduate College Day at Hampton University. Thank you. The next voice you will hear will be that of Dr. Joanne Haysbert, our Chancellor and our Provost. Dr. Haysbert.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now that's something I do at faculty meeting we have once a month. And I do that to ensure that all the faculty are wide awake as we begin that meeting, because it too is in the afternoon. It's a little later than this one, but again, want to make sure that you're not asleep after that wonderful brunch that you may have had today. On a more serious note, let me truly welcome you to Hampton University, our home by the sea. You know that the university began in 1868. You may also know that we have, under the leadership of Dr. William R. Harvey, the longest sitting living president in the country. Dr. Harvey has served as the president of this university for 39 years. And for that 39 years, Hampton has continued to grow and, most importantly, groom professionals such as yourselves. So as Dr. Penn Marshall said, I too look forward to sealing the deal with you and you joining the Hampton family. I consider one of the strengths of this institution to be the leadership. As I said, the president has been here 39 years. And under his leadership, Hampton has done tremendously well. On the financial side, we are an investment, a solid financial investment. And on the academic side, we continue to represent the standard of excellence. Now that's not only for our undergraduate programs, which is what most people have heard about, but we claim that fame for the graduate programs as well. So much so until we are now on the road to becoming a research institution. And for those of you that are aware of research institutions, and most of you, if not all of you are, let me remind you that one of the strengths of the research institution rests with its graduate students, not the undergraduate, but the graduate students. And the work that you do while you're here, the research you get involved in while you're here, and what you do once you leave here. So it is a great day on both sides of the podium. We're happy to have you here, and I believe that you're happy to be here, but this is a partnership between you and between us. Because if we indeed are to reach that goal of becoming a research university, a large part of it depends on you, students. So we want to seal the deal. You become a part of the Hampton family. You do great work while you're here, graduate, and make us even greater. That's the part of the deal that gives us a win and gives you a win as well. So are we selfishly in this for a win-win? Yes. You get a degree and we get a fine product on the other end that's going to help us tell the Hampton story by the life that they live, both personally and professionally. So we welcome you to Hampton. We look forward to your chosen profession that you decide to embark upon. We are prepared for you. We have planned for you. we have on our side the faculty that you need, many of which you will meet today, others of which you will meet later on after you sign up and become a student. But we're prepared. We're prepared to give you that education for life, that education that will make you one that's prepared for the marketplace, and that is around the world, so that you can go and do anything that you want to do once you earn that Hampton degree. And that's our promise to you. So for those that have not decided what particular area you want to focus in, as Dr. Ben Marshall said as well, this will give you an opportunity to learn more about those areas. As I looked at that agenda, it is packed, but it's packed in a good way, because you meet some of these people, hear some of the fantastic things about why their program should be the program for you, why you should select it. Just as we have taken great pains to provide for you a showcase of our undergraduate students, we started this graduate college day to rival high school day. We did not want the undergraduates to feel that they were the only one that got special attention and felt special. You're special too. And for that reason, some 5 years ago, I believe now, we started the graduate college day with a different kind of format, different kind of flavor. And each year, I must commend Dr. Ben Marshall. It's getting better and better and better. You can't beat what we started with today in terms of that jazz ensemble. Even if you decide not to sign up, it's just a matter of knowing that it's here and it's a part of the Hampton family, ought to send a message to you. So again, as far as a physically sound investment, Hampton is that. As far as academic excellence, we continue to maintain the standard of excellence. And that is not, again, only at our undergraduate programs, but that's a promise to our graduate students as well. And make no mistake, as I said before, it's a win-win on both sides. We want you to come to Hampton, and in return, we're going to give you that degree that will prepare you for life, education for life. That's the deal. We hope we can sign you up. Thank you so very much, and welcome to our Home by the Sea.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Or afternoon. Thank you to Dr. Ben Marshall and Dr. Haysberg and platform guests. My name is Christy Kanzler, and I serve as the counselor for the Graduate College. In this position, one of my roles includes serving as the staff advisor to the Organization of Graduate Students. In 2015, the Organization of Graduate Students, also known as OGS, was reestablished or reactivated by the dedicated and hardworking executive board, which included Mr. Marcus Johnson as president, Ms. Janelle Ward, vice president, Ms. Caitlin Jackson, secretary, Mr. Javon Hutchison, treasurer, Ms. Celia Josephine Pauline, parliamentarian, Ms. Gracia Townsend, professional development chair, Ms. Kelly Clovey, social media chair, Mr. Drew Evans, social chair, and Mr. Keenan Allen, membership chair. Before the reactivation, the organization had been inactive for approximately 6 years. In 2016, the executive leadership torch was successfully passed. Will the current OGS officers please come to the front as I call your name? Ms. Brittany Suggs, president. Mr. Stephen Buckner, vice president. Ms. Shanice Johnson, professional development chair. Ms. Samira Hicks, social media chair. Ms. Alicia Scott, social chair. Ms. Ngozi Ogbu Ogibana, membership chair and interim secretary. And if there are any OGS members present today, would you also please stand to be recognized? Would you John Blaylock, sorry, he was on the board. John Blaylock, Student Faculty Liaison Representative. Sorry about that, John. Will you all please give them a hand? The Organization of Graduate Students represents all graduate students. This organization promotes academic excellence and communication between faculty, staff, and students. The OGS is also involved in professional development, graduate college recruitment, and the sponsorship of educational events, which reflect the graduate student body. Ms. Brittany Suggs, OGS President, would like me to share some information with you. OGS is the only collective graduate student organization on campus. The organization partners with the Graduate College as the governing body of graduate students. It is the student and faculty liaison on university matters and an advocate for graduate students. OGS also proves to be the hub for networking, social interactions, professional development, and academic excellence. What does OGS do? OGS holds general body meetings. They represented the graduate students this year at the Homecoming Bazaar and Parade. They have partnered with the Department of Counseling's Omega Chi Nu Counseling Honor Society and the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association to do community service work. They also support one another as graduate students. How can you become involved in OGS? You can attend the general body meeting, become an official member, and/or become an officer in the organization. As the staff advisor for OGS, should you choose, or if you have already chosen Hampton University for your graduate education pursuits, it would be my honor to assist you in becoming more acclimated and to add an additional sense of connection to your Hampton University experience. Thank you.
At this time, it is my pleasure to briefly introduce to you, our graduate program coordinators. I'm looking around the room, I see him now. Dr. Robert Loafman, Atmospheric Sciences. We have Dr. Issy Errol-Tolliver, Dr. Herman Fennell, who are representing the chairperson of biology, Dr. Jamel Watkins. They are faculty members in biological sciences. The Department of Computer Science, we have Dr. Moed Danashari. We have Dr. Spencer Baker, and give me a moment, I have to read a lot. Counseling, addiction counseling, please stand. Dr. Baker, you stand. Let them see you, and then listen carefully. Addiction counseling, college student development, student affairs, community mental health pastoral, community mental health school, general counseling, educational specialist counseling, and of course we have master's and some PhD programs within that. Dr. Baker is a busy man, but he's quite effective. Dr. Spencer Baker. If Dr. Stephanie Johnson would please stand and listen carefully. Educational leadership, educational management, higher education, educational management K through 12, educational management special education, educational management STEM education. Dr. Johnson. And she has a colleague with her. If you would please stand. You told me your name. Please tell me again. Dr. Dion Ellis. Thank you. Nursing. Dr. Hilda Williamson is here. She's the Assistant Dean in the School of Nursing. She's representing Dr. Sherry Saunders Olson and Nursing Administration and Education. Nursing Family Nurse Practitioner and Nursing Family Research, MS and PhD programs in that as well. Physical therapy, Dr. Zenobia Crawford, and I saw Dr. Christopher Tucker in the room. I know he's still here, but you'll get to meet him later officially. Physics, Dr. Michael Cole. Listen carefully. Physics, thank you. Medical physics, nuclear physics, optical physics. And Dr. Robert Loafman is standing already, planetary science. Hampton has a lot to offer. Very, very smart faculty. Psychology, Dr. Candace Wallace. Marriage and family studies and psychology. Dr. Aaron Livingston, Sport Administration, was unable to join us today. That's a very, very popular graduate program. And we also have biology, we have teaching. We have biology 6 through 12, chemistry, English, math, and music, K through 12. Thank you. Please join me in, just a moment, Dr. Tamara Freeman-Nichols. What department is that? Hearing and speech and language, was that appropriate? I'm looking at the white coats next. Mr. Michael Druid, medical science. Did I leave, colleagues, anyone out? Okay. Thank you very much. I don't take it lightly that colleagues would take time not only to nurture our graduate students, to assist you all with your research, with preparing you for comprehensive national exams, but they also take time to come to things like this to recruit you, to let you know what programs we have to offer. Next, we will hear from Ms. Brittany Suggs. She is our Scholar Spotlight. When you hear some of the things she's done, you will understand why the Graduate Council selected her. Ms. Suggs.
Thank you, Dr. Marshall. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Let's try it one more time. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
That's better. I like that. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the 5th Annual Graduate College Day. It is my pleasure to stand before you this afternoon and share a little bit of insight regarding my experiences as a graduate student here at Hampton University. In sharing, I'm not only detailing the story of my journey, but I pray that you might be inspired by it to know that HU really is the standard of excellence, and it offers everything you need and more in a graduate student experience. So to offer a little bit of background about myself, I was born and raised here in Hampton. I took a bit of a journey academically that brought me back home. So in my earlier years, my childhood and my adolescent years, I studied in parochial schools. I made my move 13 hours away from home to the University of Notre Dame, where I earned my bachelor's in psychology and a minor in Africana studies. Yes, it was really cold there, and I'm glad to be back home where we actually experience seasons, because they don't. And after that, I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to go to medical school. Biology and physics and all of that was not really my thing. So I made the transition over to George Mason, where I worked on my master's in public health, specializing in community health and global health. Throughout my journey at George Mason, I love that our program promoted holistic health. However, in that aspect of spirituality and really working to address the entire person, I felt a bit of that was lacking in our profession. So after a prayerful 6 months of contemplating the question I know many of us do, that what's next question, where am I going? What am I even called or purposed to do? I felt led to come back home, where I am now earning my degree in the pastoral counseling program here at Hampton University. And I am pleased to announce, excited to announce, that I'm in my 3rd year of the program, which means I am almost done. To God be all the glory. So yes, it's definitely been a bit of a journey, but I have found my home within pastoral counseling amongst an excellent body of staff members and a family of students, because that's what's definitely promoted both in the counseling department and in the greater collective of the Graduate College. So outside of that, and outside of the representation of the standard of excellence that I believe that Hampton University so well promotes, I've had the pleasure to be involved in a number of different programs and opportunities, which I thank the Graduate College and I thank my own department for offering throughout my years here at HU. So as far as professional organizations in which I'm involved in, currently I'm a member of the American Counseling Association. And in addition to that, I am a student member on two of their councils, you would call them, the Association for Multicultural Counseling and Development and Counselors for Social Justice, both which promote the values of diversity within counseling and within our communities, and both fight for social justice and efforts to combat oppression in a number of systemic areas. As far as academic organizations, and I give a shout out to our president over there, Miss Olivia. I am a part of the Omega Chi Nu chapter of Chi Sigma Iota, which is the Professional Counseling Honor Society. And I credit them for promoting that standard of excellence through community service and engagement, but also, of course, promoting scholarship, leadership, academic excellence in all its forms and fashions. I'm also pleased to share that one of the roles that I hold dearest right now is the pleasure of serving as president of the Organization of Graduate Students. When I first got to HU, I had no clue what the Organization of Graduate Students was, is, or was doing, but I'm pleased to share that in working with a great set of graduate students who really have a heart for our graduate community, we've been making moves to make the organization one which all students, all graduate students, even our online graduate students, have a home, because we all need a home in quite a big university. So those are some of the current involvements that I have, but I really want to speak on some of the more rare opportunities that I, again, thank the Graduate College and my department for offering throughout my years as a student. So there's been a lot of opportunities for campus involvement and engagement. One being, I believe Ms. Kanzler mentioned, getting to be in what was my first homecoming parade. Imagine that, right? Being from Hampton, have never been to the homecoming parade, but being in it was such a treat and such an experience that I would never forget. As far as professional development, currently right now I'm in the midst of my counseling internship, which I credit for providing on-site training and clinical experience relative to not only the program, but my career endeavors and my passions as a pastoral counselor. In the area of research, I had the pleasure this summer of working with an excellent body of faculty and staff, to which many included the Department of Counseling, as a student ambassador for the Walton Family Foundation research, in which we focused on faith-based education initiatives and programs for youth during HU's annual Ministers Conference. As far as networking and collaboration, as Ms. Kanzler shared, one of the aspects that we have been working on within OGS is showing a front that we aren't just graduate students within our little isolated boxes and our isolated programs, but that we love upon one another, we support one another. So we've been working to collaborate more and show a strong front to the university that graduate student life matters. That we hope that just as much as our undergraduate students, we can represent the pulse of what makes HU, HU. And in addition to that, thank you. And last but not least, which is one of my favorites, I credit the Graduate College and again my department for the numerous activities of community service and engagement. One of a rare kind, a rare treat, was an opportunity during the summer to work with the SPARK program. It's a program that Newport News has recently established to provide arts and recreation and knowledge activities to many of its youth so they don't lose time during the summer sitting around the home where they could be cultivated and developed in that spare space. I never thought myself much to work with children, to be honest. I'm all more like a young adult kind of person, but working with them really opened my eyes and expanded my worldview on how my skills and tools and resources that I've cultivated here has an impact on all ages. So, of course, that journey sounds pretty great. One that I'm sure a lot of people would look to and say, hey, it seems like you have it all together, which is not the truth. Because I too have had my fair share of moments throughout my journey that, as we like to coin it in the counseling program, moments for growth. You don't look at them as challenges, but moments for growth and moments for change. And some of those have included stepping outside of my comfort zone. Again, I've had a number of experiences where my worldview and my window seem to focus on certain people and certain populations. But I can tell you, especially for those who are thinking about counseling, you're going to be put in some awkward situations, especially with community service activities where we are encouraged to get out in the community, to shake hands with strangers, and really just challenge ourselves to be beyond what we even think we can be. As far as expanding that worldview, I think like many of us, we come in with our own perspectives and our own values. And I'm glad and elated to say that many of my stereotypes, my prejudice, even my lacks in some way as far as perspectives, that my experiences as a graduate student have challenged that. And I believe my worldview has been expanded since my time here. Prioritizing opportunities. You're going to get a wealth of opportunities here as graduate students. But the essence is finding the opportunities that best fit you and continue to drive and catapult you along your professional journeys. You will become more discerning, and it's okay sometimes to say no, because everything might not be for you. But in understanding yourself and growing to know yourself better, you will find those right fits and opportunities for you. And last but not least, remaining committed to the journey. I can speak of about 2 weeks ago, having a rough patch coming to the end of my journey, in which I did question for but a moment, why am I here and what am I doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? But I'm pleased to say that there were a lot of supporters, faculty, staff, friends, students alike, that provided the wind beneath my wings, so to speak, and helped me to remember why I am standing here and why I'm committed to the call that I first got 3 years ago. So as far as my recommendations for those who are considering the university, there are a wealth of opportunities for you to seize. So I would encourage you that the moment you set foot on campus, join a professional organization relative to your career passions and interests. Get connected. Get to know the leaders, the movers, the shakers within your professional organizations and within your very department. Take advantage of the opportunities and resources furnished by your department and by the graduate college. Utilize and build rapport with your professors. Dr. Baker can attest to the fact that I think sometimes I show up to his office and I don't even have an appointment anymore. I just show up to say hello. I show up for questions. I show up to borrow books on his shelf for resources. That's what your professors are here for. We know this, we've talked about this in undergrad, but use them, utilize them. because they're going to be critical along your journey. Connect with graduate students outside of your program and your chosen career field. Through OGS, I know students in medical science now. I know students in atmosphere and planetary sciences. I know people I would have not known before had I just stayed in my own bubble. And guess what? I'm looking to them to not only be dear friends, but resources that I can call on later in life. So know some other people, because they may be the resources that you use along your career path to help someone else. Seek opportunities to positively impact the campus and surrounding communities. Give what you have. What you have and who you are is a gift. Sow it and watch it grow. The university will be thankful for it, and guess what? We as your peers will be also. Remain teachable and open to change. And last but never least, strive to do you well, because guess what? No one can do you better than you can. Thank you, and have a great day.
You can tell that Brittany came here with quite a bit of experience and talents, but you also heard that a lot of that was also developed at Hampton University. Thank you, Dr. Baker, and thank you. I was remiss. How many of you have applied, whether you are a current graduate student, so that's a giveaway answer, or you are a prospective graduate student, have applied to Hampton University before? Raise your hands. Prospective or current graduate students. Mrs. Karen Rankin, please stand up. She is the lady who answers your questions, the same question 55 times with the same pleasant response. How may I help you? Yes, no, we only have your letter. We only have one part of your application. Yes, the application fee is $35. Yes, you can pay it in this way. Let me look in the system for you. I don't care if you call her at 8 o'clock in the morning or 5:10 in the afternoon. She gives you the same pleasant, patient, well-informed, accurate response. Mrs. Rankin, thank you. And at this point, physics is showing off because they came in and they brought the whole family. I see Dr. Paul Gay, would you raise your hand? Dr. Jose Gorky, Dr. J.K. So, and there are two students that I don't think I know their names. And they already had a representative, but that's the Hampton family. That is how we do things, the standard of excellence. Some other people came in who are actually guests. Please join us. Please come in and have a seat. Dr. Sandra Cherry, I did not introduce. Please stand. And University College, you have a phenomenal opportunity to enroll in courses online. Would Dr. Janae Johnson-Seaton please stand? And I had told you that Dr. Christopher Tucker was here, and I told you he was. Now he's back in the room. Physical therapy. We get about 700 applications for a few sites, yes. I don't know how they process them, but Mrs. Rankin, but they do with the CAS system. So at this time, we have some videos that we want you to see. They're short video clips, but we can't show you everything about Hampton that's great today, but there's some human interest things that are dear to our hearts that we want you to see. And we are the only historically Black college and university that has 4 satellites flying, and we are solely responsible for the NASA mission. We want to showcase that. Ms. Suggs is going to be my computer expert. And Mr. Fernando, thank you for your posters. Thank you for your research.
Hampton University Athletics wants to congratulate the Department of Atmospheric and Planetary Sciences with this week's Community Impact Award. The department secured a $5 million grant from NASA to install this satellite antenna. The antenna will help the people of Hampton Roads and surrounding areas to detect severe weather hours sooner than before. The antenna's capabilities are so unique and precise, it's caught the attention of local military and the National Weather Service in Wakefield, Virginia. Congratulations once again to the Department of Atmospheric and Planetary Sciences for a job well done.
Beginning of 2016, I was diagnosed with a pretty large brain tumor and a very rare form of brain cancer. We came to the conclusion that proton therapy was the best solution for me because as a young woman, we wanted to preserve as much of my brain as we could without treating areas that weren't affected by the cancer cells. Proton therapy spared my quality of life. It put a smile back on my face when I hadn't seen anyone.
Live, let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
While Dr. Jean Muhammad is joining us at the podium for the spotlight for the Department of Computer Science and Information Assurance, we are going to have a few giveaways. I hope you were listening to some of the things that were said. And Dr. Baker is not allowed to participate.
Is there an OGS member that can maybe help me up front with some of the door prizes? Thank you. Okay, first trivia question. Who was the first to arrive today? Anyone think they were the first one to arrive? I see a hand back there. Come on up. Congratulations. Who came the farthest? Where did you come from? Anyone come further than South Carolina? New York?
6 hours, 8 hours. New York is 8 hours.
Congratulations.
Did we write that to Haysburg? You're South Carolina.
Yes. 6 hours, South Carolina.
Who brought the largest group? Voorhees University, South Carolina. Could a representative come up?
Where they from? Where they from?
South Carolina, Voorhees University.
Yay, home state. South Carolina, home state. Yes.
And what year was Hampton University founded? I thought I saw a hand over there with the pearls. I think you raised it. Okay, congratulations. Come on.
I told you how important it was to listen.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Hampton University and prospective students. I want to start off by saying that I am Dr. Muhammad. I am chair of the computer science department here at Hampton. And I am just grateful for you to be here. I want to start off by saying is there's only one major that touches absolutely everything. It doesn't matter whether you're in medicine, physical therapy, mathematics, counseling, art, theater, music, it doesn't matter. You cannot do any of those things without computer science. And we are at this moment in our nation at a national crisis to have enough people with US citizens that are capable to perform the things that the government, industries, and our personal citizens need to do with the field of technology. We just do not have enough. So I'll start off with that. Okay, is this working for me? Well, let's do that. The Department of Computer Science, we have two master's programs. We have the Computer Science program, and we have a Computer Information Systems program. And I'll talk a little bit about both of them. The Computer Science program prepares our students in the field of technology, software development and design, research. But the main thing that we prepare our students for is another area of national crisis, and that is security. So we do have a security program that I'll talk about in a second, but everything we do in the Department of Computer Science from an undergraduate perspective through the graduate perspectives is let our students know how dire importance it is for all of us to be aware of security. Physical therapists, medical, our intellectual property, whether that happens to be in mathematics, physics, art, music, theater, whatever you want to name, counseling, psychology, health records, everything has to be secure. And so we are a center of excellence in information assurance and security. We have been designated by Homeland Security and NSA. And so therefore, our entire programs weave security components and modules through all of them. And that is something that we are not represented well as people in as African Americans. We are not represented well in that area. And we make sure that all of our students know how security needs to be represented, not just in software, not just in code, but how we do big business day to day. So our two programs, computer science, you will learn to be a developer. We have students who undergraduate degrees are not in computer science. We're unique. We have a bridge program that will take you from other disciplines. You'll go through our bridge program and you will be able to graduate with a master's in computer science. In addition to that, the information security program does exactly the same thing. All right, so let me start with that. Even if you're not a computer science undergraduate, we can take you into our program and develop you so that you can make a contribution in this field. Okay. Now, in the area of information assurance, we defend, protect, design, implement, and maintain secure information systems. That is an area that is growing faster than you can imagine. And there's only one thing that we know about computer science and technology, is that it will change. Now, I'm not going to date myself and tell you how old I am, but when I went through computer science as an undergraduate, nobody discussed security. It wasn't taught. It wasn't discussed. There were no classes for that. However, now, this is the major of the future, and we want you to understand that, okay? In addition, in our Masters of Computer Science, I would say that what makes us unique in our programs is not just that we teach all of the courses that is necessary to make you excel and make you stand out wherever you want to go in this area or this field of study. It is about our department, our faculty, and how hard we work to make you successful. As I said, we have students who come in who've never done any computer science, but they understand how important it is and what a high demand there is for computer science in our country. And so therefore they come in and they tell us, we want to do computer science, but that's not our undergraduate major. We work with those students in our bridge program. We have tutors for them. We develop them so when they graduate, they are competitive. And when we say competitive, we have industries that come to us. We have students at Apple. We have students in Microsoft. We have students at Yahoo. You name the industry, and our students are represented in that industry. Not only do we go out and place them in those industries come to Hampton. We just had Yahoo here and gave us a wonderful gift of over 80 servers. They interview our students, they intern them, and they hire them upon graduation. So we need you to understand that. Okay. Our curriculum, I'm not going to stand here and tell you we have an easy curriculum, but we help you and we have support for you to be successful. If you find a computer science curriculum or an information security curriculum anywhere that you can whiz through without any struggles, without any hard work, and I will tell you that that is not an accredited program. And we are an accredited program. So yes, you will have to work hard, but we are there to help you every step of the way. Our faculty, you can walk into their offices at any time, and they will take the time to advise you, to counsel you, to listen to your problems, and then turn around and give you support and help. So we are a family, not just as Hampton as a whole and in the graduate college. Our department is a family. Our faculty is a family. And we do that every day. So let me be sure of that. Okay. Now, our master's program in computer science, you have 2 tracks. Okay. You can decide that you want to do a project and take a master's thesis. And that we will give you, you will select your own advisor, one that you decide you want to work with. We have so many areas of research that I will articulate in just a moment. And you will be able to work with that faculty and the rest of the faculty to help you to be successful. But in addition to that, some students don't want to do a master's thesis. They want to be able to take a comprehensive exam and go right into industry. We also have that track as well. Now, our master's thesis, however, is a feeder program into a PhD program. We don't currently have a PhD program, but some of the top graduate programs around the country, our programs feed into them. We have students that are currently at Carnegie Mellon. We have students that are currently at the University of Florida, University of Indiana, Clemson, you name Georgia Tech. If you name some of the top schools around the country, our students have graduated from our master's program and have been a feeder into those schools. Our Masters of Information Assurance. Now, this program I consider to be an extremely unique program the way it's implemented. Our program is an online program, but the difference between our online program and this master's and some of the other programs, you have access to our faculty at all times. So our faculty are physically on campus. Therefore, as a part of that, yes, you have online courses, but you have access to come in, sit down, and talk to our faculty. We Skype, we email, we Twitter, we do anything that we have to do to connect with you. And there are times that we're going throughout the academic semester that we're going to invite you on campus. So you will have a hands-on experience with us, even though you're in an online program. You will know all of our faculty. And as chair, I know everyone in our department. Okay. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about that information assurance program. As I said, we are a center of excellence in information security, and that designation has come from NSA and Homeland Security. Now, we have programs you can come in with a scholarship, and I'll go into the curriculum more if you're interested when you come to me over at the table. But the scholarship that we have for both of our master's programs is worth talking to you about now. That information assurance program, we have an SFS scholarship. It is called a scholarship for service. We can take you in, and that, let me be clear, GPAs matter. Okay, if you don't come in with a GPA, you can elevate to that GPA, and then you can still qualify. However, that program has a $32,000 stipend. It pays, independent of that stipend, it pays your tuition and it buys your books. So you can live very, very well at Hampton on that stipend without you struggling and without you going out to work. Our program is very rigorous. We have faculty who are ex-FBI agents who ran the forensic security program right here in Norfolk for the FBI. We have specialists in the area of information security. We have 100% placement rate. We have 2 of our students just recently placed at the NSA. Our students are just going leaps and bounds, but we work with them, we develop them, and they're not just a number. That's the key piece. Okay. Our areas of research: software development, autonomous, distributive agents, artificial intelligence, digital forensics, network security, robotics, risk management and risk assessment, security and privacy, cloud computing, and data analytics. We have faculty who have strong areas of research in all of those areas. And again, you may not know which area you're interested in when you arrive, but your exposure to our faculty will help you make that decision. Some of our graduates, we have many more than we're showing you today, but we have students who've gone into Goldman Sachs, Apple, and also Capital One. Now, the reason you see this diversity, it goes back to my first statement. Banking industry does not sound to you maybe like computer science. It is. They can't do any of what they do every day. Stocks, bonds, everything they do deal with the field of technology and computer science. When you're talking about Apple, those are traditional companies. Microsoft, that we have students in all those areas. Well, of course, they utilize technology, and it changes every day. You never know what direction it's going. In addition to that, what we want you to see is that all of these areas, business and all of these theaters and areas, they need us. So that means to you that you are always going to be employable, because no matter where direction any company is going, they will need the skills of technology and computer science. And more importantly, the real skills that they're going to need is how do they secure their data? How do they keep their intellectual property secure? How do they keep the client's data that they deal with every day secure? The health records, hospital records, everything about that individual and their business, how do they secure that data? That all involves technology. We just had several of our students, as I said, that just got placed at NSA. NSA is probably one of the hardest institutions in the federal government to be placed. And Hampton University, Department of Computer Science, has placed students in NSA. Okay, that is the end of my presentation, but I want to end it up by saying to you, we need you in the field of technology. There is not enough of you. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about dollars and cents. Our lowest placement last year, the lowest students that left us and went on to work in industry was 70,000, and that was an undergrad. That's not even just a grad. The highest was 92. That's just the beginning. The reason that the salaries are so expansive, it is because we are in such dire straits as a nation to have you in the field of technology. You can do this. Many of the students run away from technology because they think that's too hard. You can do this, but more importantly, we help you to do this. And our students are graduating every day, and they are excelling in the highest ranks of this field, and they look like you. So please come by and talk to me so we can talk about you entering in the field of computer science.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. That was very convincing, informative, and I've been telling her for about a year that I want to learn how to code. They're kindergartnens that are coding, and I'm a little older than that, and I still need to learn how to code. So thank you, Dr. Muhammad. At this time, Mr. John Blaylock would give me just a moment because Ms. Brittany Suggs is going to come up, and I know why Dr. Muhammad's, why it didn't work.
Did I knock that out?
No, it was never in there.
Okay.
The Department Chair of Computer Science
I was
would
gonna
never
say, I wouldn't
make
knock
the
that.
mistake I made.
Oh, no.
So Mr. Blaylock will share the Hampton University Institutional Spotlight at this time.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Penn Marshall. Can everybody hear me okay? This is a little,
Yeah, well, should I-
I see, I'm a little taller than everybody here. There we go. Is that better? Excellent. Okay. Like Dr. Penn Marshall said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some facts and figures about the institution. It's not going to be as dynamic and fun and exciting as some of the other things we've heard about today, but we'll try and make it fun. Okay. So for starters, the Hampton University Graduate College has been named one of the best graduate schools in America for 2016 by gradschoolhub.com, which that's obviously a pretty big deal. There's a lot of competition there, so the fact that we're up there on the top is a very prestigious honor. Additionally, the university was ranked #2 on the best colleges for veterans list in the Southern Region category in U.S. News and World. Again, that's a very big deal. We do have a lot of, especially in this particular area, there's a lot of military and veterans in the area, and so the fact that we, as the university, are serving them very well, I think that's a very, very important characteristic of what the university does, and the grad college as well. So in the research/bachelor's to PhD category, HU was ranked #3 in the nation for master's universities by the Washington Monthly Magazine College Rankings. Again, this is, you're seeing 1, 2, 3, you're seeing a lot of very, very high numbers here. That's, you're not going to get a lot of institutions that have those high numbers. And we're seeing them categorically here. Hampton University has built the first proton therapy cancer treatment center in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and it acts as an unparalleled hub for cancer treatment, research, and technology, and it's the largest in the world. We saw a short video earlier from that very same institute, and they're doing very good things there. Very good research, very good treatment. You hear a lot of good things about this program. We're very proud of it. The Lady Pirates, shifting gears a little bit, the Lady Pirates won their 5th consecutive MEAC Women's Basketball Championship in 2015. So not only do we have some very high rankings on the academic side of the house, we also have some rather high rankings on the sports side of the house, the athletics, if you will. In the service and ROTC category, HU was ranked '9 by Washington Monthly Magazine College Rankings, and that's over 100 years of ROTC. So there's a very strong ROTC tradition here, and again, that's something we're very proud of. Serving our service members, veterans, ROTC members, something we're very proud of here. And then, as we've heard earlier, Dr. Harvey's outstanding leadership skills are exemplified by the appointment of 17 former Hampton University administrators to CEO positions at other institutions during his tenure. So, Dr. Harvey, he's done a great job. Those leadership skills trickle down to the other positions in the administration, and they go on to other places and take those skills with them. And again, something we're very proud of. Very proud leadership tradition here. Washington Monthly 2015 college rankings highlighted Hampton University in the upper third of the top 100 master's universities. Again, we're seeing lots of high numbers here. This is very good. Not a lot of universities can tout that. And then Dr. William Harvey has been the president of Hampton University for 39 years. That's almost 4 decades. That is a really long time. And he's done a lot of great things while he's here. You often don't get that kind of stability in university leadership. So the fact he's been here for so long has created a strong tradition of leadership and programs and stability that's been very good for us. And I unfortunately did not prepare this myself. I had some help with this. It was prepared for me, but this is if you want to know where this information came from, comes directly from the university's Office of University Relations, and special thanks to Ms. Kelly Clovey, who put this presentation together for me. So I think that's the end of it. Yep, that's the end of it. So I appreciate everyone lending me your ears. Like I said, that was hopefully was a little more fun than we thought it would be. I know numbers can sometimes be boring and not very exciting, but hopefully we made it through. So, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Blaylock. You did a great job. Thank you. At this time, we're going to show you, teach you, you've already heard from Dr. Muhammad how to fund a master's degree in computer science or information assurance. But what about funding graduate school at Hampton University? Would Ms. Sonora Marshall please join me at the podium? Thank you. Funding graduate education. It's very important. The money lady is here. I'm going to have a seat.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to our home by the sea.
Yes.
Today I'm going to give you a brief overview of the federal funding here at Hampton University. Actually, first of all, as a Title IV compliance officer, what I do is I keep the university within the compliance as it pertains to the federal regulations and policies. And I also review your files to make sure your documents are, the correct documents are submitted and accurate, because we do want to keep our Title IV funding program here. Okay. All right. Excuse me. So those are the areas that I'm just going to touch on today. I'll give you a moment to just go down that list. Those are the requirements to be eligible to apply for the federal aid. Of course, you have to be an American citizen, and you also have to be seeking a degree program. In the federal government schools, you know, is the biggest lender. They do lend a lot of money, as you can see over there, on a yearly basis. We have three categories of students entering the graduate program. We have the regular students, who are the students that are seeking a degree and attending full-time or at least part-time. You know, full-time where you're working on a 9 credit hour program, and the half-time is 4 credits. And then we have the provisional accepted students. Those are students who still have to do those preparatory courses before they're actually admitted into the graduate program. And while you're doing those courses, you will be awarded as an undergrad student of $12,500, also as an independent student. When you have completed, done those programs and the graduate college, you know, has approved and accepted them, then you will move on to accept funding at the graduate level. And then we have the non-degree students. Those are students who are enrolled in a degree-seeking program, but also they have, you know, certain new programs available to those students. You know, some students just do classes and it's non-degree. Of course, you're not eligible for aid at that time. Anything to be eligible must be seeking a degree, must be an American citizen, be enrolled in an accepted program, and you must be enrolled at least half time to qualify for federal funding, again, which is 4 hours. Those are the type of funding aid that is available to you as a grad student. We have the William T. Ford Direct Loan Program. The lender is the Department of Education. You are the borrower, of course. And within that, we have two types. We have the direct loans, We have the subsidized, which is unsub, but of course, as a grad student, you're only eligible for the unsubsidized loans. You get that in the amount of $20,500, that's per year. And then most time, you're taking maybe an extra class or two and you need additional money, you will want to use the Grad Plus loan. That is, again, you are the borrower of that loan, but to utilize that loan, you have to be credit worthy because they do check your credit score. And you can apply for that loan again to augment, like your unsubsidized. And we have the Perkins loans. That loan is the maximum amount you can receive per year is $8,000, and that's at a 5% interest rate. And we also have the Federal Work Study Program. That's part-time for grad students. Oftentimes, we have more grad students doing grad assistantship than the work study program. But the work study program is available if you want to, seek that to get some extra money. The grad assistantship is limited, so you may want to check with your chair, of that department that you are studying in. Now, how to apply for all of this? You have to, first of all, request an FSA ID. That's the website, fsa.id.ed.gov, where you will have to supply some information, your name, your social security number, your address, and your birth date. That FSA ID can be used also to check your FAFSA and also to apply for the Grad Plus loan. As a matter of fact, you can use that FSA ID whenever you access the government website for any information pertaining to your loans. Office here at Hampton University, or better yet, you can go on our website. There is a contact link tab, and you will get a prompt response from our counselors. Adjustment means, your financial is subject to adjustment means that we have to keep you again this federal regulation. You have to stay within the cost of attendance. Simply meaning that, for instance, if your program costs $60,000 a year, if you have 75,000 free money coming in and you have $5 of aid, we will still have to adjust that money to keep it within budget. So when you're doing, searching for scholarships and you have, internal as well as external scholarships, you want to keep that in mind that you do have to stay within budget. Now, the fun part, right? You want to know when you're going to get all that money. For, of course, summer cohorts, you have to pay out of pocket. We have no summer aid. Out of pocket or private loans would have to be utilized at that time. Students will begin in the fall for disbursement dates. It'll be mid-September, brick and mortar, of course, main campus, and online, October for online students. Students will begin in the spring, disbursement dates are January for brick and mortar, again, on campus. And students, online students, you have the March disbursements. How it works, when the funds come in to us, we take away what you owe Hampton University, and your overage, it generates your overage and in the form of a refund, which again, it comes back to you depending on how much money we have in your financial aid account. We have debt deferment and forbearance, which is really great because, everybody goes through some financial slump at some point. So if you find that, you cannot pay your loans because you do have a grace period when you graduate from school, 6 months, and the Perkins loan is actually a 9 months grace period, and you don't have a job, I can't pay my loans right now. All you have to do is get in touch with your servicer, or if you're not sure, feel free to call us again, your financial office here on campus, always ready, willing to help. We'll give you all the information needed to contact your servicer and make sure those loans are in deferment or forbearance because you do not want any student loan default. That just, I'm sorry, messes everything up for you. You cannot get a loan, you cannot get a mortgage, you can get nothing with a student loan default. And once you have a default, it's not like you can do a payment plan. That money has to be paid up front. So please, if you're having problems with payments again, you can pay the interest so that you don't have a whole lot of money compounding onto your principal when you're ready to pay. Paying the interest is great, guys. It's just a little bit of money along the way. So you may want to also give that some consideration. Now, the forbearance and deferment only applies to federal loans. That's why we strongly urge students, go the federal route first, like the Grad Plus. I know you've been, you had a banker for how many years, how many centuries, but because with the federal loans, you do have, forbearance and deferment, whereas with a private loan, no matter what, you just have to keep on paying those loans. No matter where you get the funds from, they have to be paid. SEP. This is really, really important. To be eligible to continue receiving federal aid, you have to maintain a 3.0 GPA. No matter if your GPA is 2.99, 9.99, 9.99, you will be cited for SEP. Satisfactory academic progress comes in 2 components, qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative is your progress, meaning you have to pass, if you're doing your 9 credits, you have to pass those 9 credits. If you're doing a half-time 4 credits, you have to pass the 4 credits, both with a 3.0 GPA. When you sign up for SEP, you are not eligible to receive federal funding at that time. You have to appeal to the committee here again in the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships. Basically, you're just going to tell them why your grades, your GPA dropped. Could be sickness, could be death, a lot of things go on in life. And it will be reviewed and a decision will be made. That decision is not appealable. So please, you do want to adhere to that and make sure you, stay within your GPA. That's just a table of what, with your program and GPA. And of course, you have 3 years to complete this program. Your 4th year again, you will be over your amount of hours. At that time, again, you will not be eligible for financial funding. Federal funding, sorry. The VTAC, domicile residents of Virginia. Unfortunately, Congress and that $1,600 per year, of course, is divided by the 2 semesters, where you get $800 per semester. We do have deadlines, for submitting your applications. I believe it's July 16th, but again, you can check our website. We do have all that information available for you. Post 9/11 GI Bill for our vets. We also have a rep in the office of the registrar. So please feel free to reach out there if you need additional information. No limits. Again, how much can you borrow? There's no limit as long as you stay within the cost of attendance. As long as the money is not dispersed with the unsub, that can be canceled. And also, as you can see, that is within certain time frames, again, depending on your disbursement dates. Again, you see the comparisons with the interest rate with the Grad Plus and the unsubsidized. So you do want to utilize the unsubsidized first. And if you need to really augment, your fees, then you can go to Grad Plus. And you do have an aggregate limit. That aggregate limit includes your undergrad, for some of us who use loans for undergrad, that's your aggregate limit over there, including your grad fees. Yes, and say you like $138,505. You pay the $5, you're fine to move forward with another loan. But you cannot start over your aggregated limit. And with the Grad Plus, if your credit score is not too great, you're certainly welcome to use an endorser or endorsers, you use multiple endorsers. If you don't want to put one heavy loan on one person, you can surely go that route. And the health professionals, yes, for additional funds, again, certain programs qualify, so you may want to call us for that information, please. I see a subsidized of $65,500. Interest rate. This year it's been great. President Obama, every year is when they were getting a decrease. Last year was higher. This year, you see what he's done. It's all-time low interest rate on our unsubsidized. Payment was a grace period. And you can also, like I said again, postpone payments while you're in school. As long as you start attending for 6 months, that's like a grace period, and that's so you will begin to receive your bills for student loans. Again, you want to contact your loan servicer or your school's financial aid office. Every 5 days. And again, to reiterate, you can also use your deferment and forbearance. Depending how much you borrow, and most times they do take your income into consideration, how much your repayment is going to be. And of course, you can consolidate your loans, your undergrad as well as your grad loans. Information for the servicer. Very important dates. In the past, you had to wait for your tax return to file your FAFSA. But now again, President Obama has established this new process where it's called PPY, prior year. You don't really have to wait. You can, get on the ball and do your FAFSA by January 1st using your prior year's IRS transcript by January 1st, but by February 15, that's a high priority date. Thank you. Information and more resource information. All of this can be found on our website. And again, if you have questions, NSLT. Thank you. And good luck in your future endeavors, and we hope to see you here at home by the sea.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall, for the very comprehensive information regarding funding graduate programs. I know you all have been waiting to meet with the graduate program coordinators, so they are going to take their places around the table, and while they're doing that, Mrs. Chancellor is going to come up, and you're going to have an opportunity to win some more prizes. I want to be sure that you look inside your packet and you actually take the items out. You saw a brief commercial, Live Your Life, Let Us Fight Your Cancer, the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute. Cancer affects so many people that are members of our family or friends or neighbors, and we definitely want to